we talked about on Saturday at our amazing State of the Mind Mental Health Conference, renovation, ripping out the old and putting in the new. Well, today I had the unfortunate circumstance of we found out that there is a leak that was causing a problem. The problem was it was making our water bill extremely high. The water bill was so high that it set off an alarm that something is wrong. And today my husband and my father-in-law literally dug up the front of our yard. I came home today from work and my front of my home looks terrible. It looks absolutely terrible. But the good news is they found the leak. They repaired the area, tore out all the old stuff, tore out what was messed up, tore out the broken part, and they replaced it with something new. Now, again, it looks like a complete mess in the front of my home, but they did what needed to be done in order for something to be fixed. And if it had not been fixed, it would have messed up the entire foundation of my home. So it looks bad. It looks terrible. It is muddy. It looks deplorable. The very front where everybody can see. But it's evidence. I just got excited. It's evident that something has been fixed, that something has been made better. It could have remained manicured and they could have never touched it. They could have never lifted a finger and just let the leak keep happening silently. But had they have allowed the leak to keep happening silently for the sake of saving face and keeping the house looking good, it would have destroyed the foundation of my home. So for the sake of fixing something that was broken, in spite of how bad it would make it look, they ripped all that stuff out. Whole front yard, pretty manicured yard. The rocks are up. The plants are up. The dirt is dug up, 8 feet to 10 feet deep, all dug up so that they could find the leak and fix it. Now, again, we just talked about renovation on Saturday. I did not know that this was going to happen on Monday. God has a way of letting us see things in a very real-time way. I say to you, those of you all who were present on Saturday, you noticed that there have been some side effects of some things in your life, some symptoms. You didn't know what was wrong, but you could tell. Kind of like my water bill being high, there were some late relationships that were off. Your prayer life, your discernment was off. You had some difficulty sleeping, some difficulty with decision making, some poor choices, and it seemed like it was consistent and you just didn't know what the problem was. You came on Saturday and out of all of the expert speakers that we had in place, expert panel that we had in place, you learned that maybe, wow, I am suffering from anxiety. Maybe I am suffering from depression. Maybe I did suffer from some trauma. Actually, I did, and I recognize it. And now what do I do? Well, now's the ugly part. I told you all Saturday that was the beginning stages. Deliverance took place, some healing took place, but now's the hard part. Now's the part where you may have to, like my husband and my father-in-law did, had to dig to get to the root of some things. You can remain pretty and manicured, but if you really want to be healed, you do the hard work of healing, and we all know that healing hurts. You may have to do some digging. So now's the therapy part. Now is the maybe going and having conversations, hard conversations with people that hurt you. Now is the time where you may have to sit with yourself and write out and journal some things so that you can write it down, taking it out of your mind into reality so that you can sort through some things. If you have my journal, that'd be pretty easy to do. Journal some things so that you can get through the process of healing. It's going to be ugly. Them ugly tears, I can't speak for nobody else, but I do not cry pretty. I cry so ugly, I hate crying in front of people. It ain't nothing cute about it. It ain't nothing cute about it. It's the ugly part now. Now's the part where we may have to do the hard part of healing in spite of how it makes us look, in spite of how others view us, because when it's all said and done, you're saving your foundation. You're saving your mental health. You're saving what is going to impact every other part of your life. One of the most critical components to your life is your mental health, and you are worth it. It may be costly. If you need some resources that are sliding scale, let me know. Like my yard, it would have been extremely costly had I not had an expert father-in-law. But he's an expert. In other words, you may have to reach out to someone to help you get what you need at a lower cost if you simply cannot afford it. So reach out to me if you need some sliding scale therapists, all right? Some therapists that will meet you where you are, okay? I can do that for you. Just shoot me an inbox. but by any means necessary. Don't let Saturday be your one and done. It was amazing. It was fabulous. It was phenomenal. It was spirit filled. God had his way. Knowledge was had, resources were given, empowerment happened, but you cannot stop there. We've got to stop this getting full off of conferences and revivals and then just going back into everyday life, not doing anything that would impact the furthering of what happened. We've got to stop that. We got to stop this getting a shot. It was not meant to be heroin on Saturday. It was not meant to be cocaine on Saturday. It was not meant to be something that you shoot yourself up with, feel good, and then keep it moving. No. Quite the opposite. It was letting us see the root of some issues. It was letting us see some things that may be impacting us. It was teaching some ways to resolve that. And then for those that need it, that tier 3 intervention, that intensive intervention, we got to go deeper. All right? So if I'm talking to you, holla back at me. You're not by yourself. You're not by yourself. Let me say that. If you ain't figured it out from Saturday or not, I don't know what else to tell you. You are not by yourself. So we're going to get this done in spite of how ugly it is, how messy it is, how many people look at it and point and say, oh no, what's going on with that house? What's going on with that person? Why is all that debris out there? Why are you acting like that? Why do you seem as if you're so vulnerable? I've never seen you that vulnerable before. Why is this happening with you? And this is what you may need to tell them. It's renovation. I'm ripping out some old stuff. And I may warn you ahead of time. You, boo, may be a part of the ripping out of the old stuff. You may be the old stuff that's got to go. So tread lightly. Because in this season of my life, I need support. I need love unconditionally. I need people who will help me, who will believe in me, who will support me because I want to be a better me for a better everybody else. All right? I pray that this has blessed you. I swear if you could see the front of my house, baby, you would totally feel what I'm saying to you. I love you. May the Lord bless you. I'm about to go finish taking care of my grandgirl, but you all have an amazing one. And hear me, don't you worry about nothing that God ain't worried about. Because guess what, baby? God ain't worried about nothing. I love you. God bless you. Happy renovation.